Hi, this is Dr. Scott, and today we're going to do a little bit of a different situation. Oh, let me change the background. We're going to like this one better. So it's not going to be an interview today, but we're going to do something a little bit related to talking to people. Let me show you kind of what I'm talking about here. So, um, again, this is a really different kind of one. I think you're going to like where we're going here, but I want you to think about what you might do on the back end of this thing after everything's kind of happened. Now, this is today's November 15th. You're probably going to see this around November 21st or something or other. And I want you to think about where you can serve. Now, again, I always tell people go to drscottyoung.com if you want to get to the right sites. I don't sell QFS crypto. That's fake. Don't do it. Okay? All right. Let's get into this a little bit. I want to show you some people that I think are fascinating. To set this up, Kristi Noem is an example of someone who's very interesting. Who she is and what she's about. Now, she's the governor of what is it? South Dakota. South Dakota, excuse me. What does she do? Now, is she going to be a president? Is she going to be a senator? Well, Trump just put this out here that he wants her to be DHS. Cool. But that says, I mean, and when I was building this, I was building this before the 12th, and I didn't even know where she was going to be. But this is where she's actually slated. That means that she's going to come even further. This actually kind of brings more credence to this point. She is going to be doing some pretty cool things down the road. And people want to talk about Kamala being president. How about this woman? I'm all over that. That's awesome. Uh, Major senator? I don't know. Does she go Senate to presidency? I'm cool with that. Very, very independently minded. I love this kind of thing. I want you to think beyond yourself. Okay, I'm just giving you examples of people. Let me show you another one. Carrie Lake. Now, we're still struggling with the Senate thing with what is it, Ruben Gallegos, who's saying that he wants to kill her, openly kind of saying this. We know that the governorship was stolen by Hobbs, who was the Secretary of State during a hotly contested election. Isn't there impropriety by having that? I mean, there's so many things wrong with that issue. And she, in 2024, they're still messing with her. She was an ex-Democrat broadcaster, but she's actually a strong believer in Christ. Now, there's a very interesting statement that some people are trying to, paint her with. That she actually had a picture with some guy who does, cross-dresser or whatever it is. The event that you can go Google her on, is supposed to be like, she's supposed to, he was supposed to play a Marilyn Monroe thing or whatever. Like, if you're gonna take a, figure out who she's taking pictures with of every single person, and frankly, when did that happen? I don't know. I mean, listen, I'm not gonna worry about that kind of stuff. When you actually kind of just do a Wikipedia on her, you realize they hate her guts. They hate her guts so badly. It's because she went from a one party to, as a broadcaster, was total Democrat to the Republican Party. Man, this woman's like a powerhouse. Is she going to go a lot farther than Senate? Very well could, right? How about an interesting couple people I want to show you this? Kim Klacik. This is a beautiful woman that would walk down Baltimore, this gorgeous red dress, and just talked about how much she loved her city. She was screwed out of her election issue in 2020 in Maryland. What does she do? Is she a rep? A senator? I don't know. She had supposedly and here's an interesting point. So she lost to Mufume, I can't even say his name. So in a special election held in April, following the death of Elijah Cummings. Okay, well, that's some interesting stuff. So she loses to him, but in the general election, she receives 25% of the votes and 28% in the latter point, right? And I'm going, this is the kind of person, when you listen to her kind of stuff, these are the kind of people you need to pay attention to. But I want you to think about yourself. There's a guy named Adam who just kind of reached out to me the other day and was talking about the same kind of stuff. He was talking about his own dream in Oklahoma to be a senator. And I'm like, man, guys, think about where you need to be. Kim Klacik, she's from Maryland. She, ran a workforce development nonprofit thing in Baltimore. She now's a talk show host. But come on, this is the kind of person that I want to see in Congress, right? I want to see doing a lot more stuff. One of my other favorite people is Tina Forte. She is, if you listen to her, first off, the woman can cuss like a sailor. It's all love. It's funnier than spit, right? But she's got this gravelly voice, real interesting one. My voice sounds really gross right now too. But she is a experienced with this as being a small business owner. You think that person has a clue how to run a business versus AOC idiot who couldn't run a bar? In the last two elections, specifically 2020 and 2024, right? She gets 55 to 123. Working Families Party, Conservative Party. Working Families Party. Who's more Working Families Party than Tina Forte? Man, follow her on Twitter. There's a woman we need to pay attention to. There's some really. I'm just showing you three women here, right? Let's throw you some upcoming people that I think are out there. Look at these two people. Alan Fran. I've been on their show. These are and Jay Caprietta. He's got a church. I went down and spoke in Dallas. I'm showing you what can be. Alan and Fran have got a powerful ministry. You guys ought to be looking at them. Go look on Rumble. You'll see a whole bunch of awakened kind of things that they're doing. Those are the kind of people that we need to put our churches behind. Dr. J is sat there. He's from Canada, was in Atlanta, left this one church because God told him to go to the Fort Worth area. These are the kind of people that are going to be power players down the road. How about some new media? Because guess what? When this media thing flips, we need new people. Now, I don't know that these people are going to do this, but I know each one of these people, okay? Michelle Moore has done interviews with a bunch of different people. The real estate agent knows her stuff inside and out. You might disagree with her, might not. Doesn't matter. Good person. Listen, he's a very strong believer in Christ. Patriot Underground. I can't even tell you his profession because I don't want to release that kind of stuff here. But Patriot Underground is up in the northwest or northeast, excuse me. If they knew his job, he'd be fired. He's been trying to release information. I've had long, detailed conversations with him, on camera, off camera. Good person. Is this the new media? How about Dave and Mark in NewsTreason? Their channel is blowing up with that kind of stuff. And these guys, Dave specific, Mark is an old media guy. Here's another real estate agent, right? And these people know their business strategy kind of stuff. Are these the new media out there? Are you part of that kind of thing? Here's other thought leaders. Dallas, Trina, Kristen. Are they going to be new thought leaders? Now, Dallas is going to do a whole bunch of financial stuff. He and I have had long conversations about financial issues with that too. Joe and Scott, funnier and spit with TruthStream. You can find both of these on Rumble with that too. These guys are in a trailer. I think they're in California area, if last I looked. But they go around, just fascinating people. Funny too with this. See, we have media people who couldn't ask a bright question if you put it in front of their face and told them to read it out. And these people think it every day. How about a couple other interesting people? SG Anon. He and I have had long conversations. See, we were supposed to be at Mary Crowley's event. Let's see if that shows up here. Oops, sorry. Let me go backward. Oops, sorry. We were supposed to be at an event in Boise. My wife got violently ill. I had to cancel. He went through 3 planes just to get out to this event. Really good guy. MarkZ, good friend of mine too. A major economic thought leader. Lots of political strategy points. Media thought leaders, I don't know what they're going to do. I'm just telling you, think about different people. How about Sheriff Mack, constitutional lawyer? Mary Crowley, movie producer. Sheriff Mack, he's retired. I don't know what he wants to do in life. And you know what? I'm telling you, I want you to think big. Are you an attorney that's awakened? I was having laser treatment on my back. Hurts like heck, right? Dr. Buster here in the Tulsa area was doing it. She goes, she knows that I'm a part of all this movement, right? And she goes, she says something about the Brunson case. First off, anyone who knows about the Brunson case is pretty deep into understanding with that too. Sheriff Mack actually admitted to me like he didn't understand the SAR. And I said, well, it's about a gold-backed currency, about deleting the Fed and deleting the IRS and getting us back into constitutional kind of situations. He's like, I'm all for all of those. This is a good guy. Understands the legal ramifications of what sheriffs need to be. Mary Crowley has been pushing on issues of being a movie producer, really good interviewer, good at kind of bringing people together, but, creating some movies for kids, creating movies for, dealing with human trafficking issues. We need to be supporting this kind of stuff. These are the people that are going to be the next parts of this. I'm going to show you something that's super interesting. It's not fully developed here. I'm going to show you something that will mess with your brain a little bit. This dude.
Trump and RFK actually created 2 websites this week that you haven't heard from the mainstream media. One of them allows you to create policies that the Trump administration will actually look at and make a decision on whether or not they will actually implement. The other one is for you to actually decide who are the people that they would actually put into their cabinet, because they have 4,000 positions to still fill. This is pretty cool. Here's the first one. You can go look it up. Welcome to the nominees for the people. President Trump and RFK Jr. want your help nominating people of integrity and courage for 4,000 appointments across the Trump administration. So you register on the website. You get to pick from all these categories. Energy and infrastructure, there's one. You scroll down, you pick one, right? So here's one with it looks kind of like Reddit. You pick one, you get to see their bio, their information, their resume, publications they've had, videos. Then you get to go and actually vote on the person that you want. And they might actually get chosen for the actual ticket. Isn't that crazy? This is the other one. It's called Policies for the People. How democratic is this? You get to choose a policy, and every quarter, RFK and Trump and the rest of the team will look at a policy. Maybe they'll implement it. Maybe they won't. But at least you get a shot. So they're starting with these first. Health for the people, food for the people, liberty for the people, economy for the people, peace for the people. I mean, how much more democratic can you get? You can put in any policy you want. Doesn't matter where you are on the party spectrum. Do you think the Democrats are going to do this? They didn't even allow you to pick an actual nominee. They chose one for you. And the policy one in all of them, it doesn't matter what party you are, because you're just signing in with an email and a username. That's it. You get to upvote for people like it's Reddit, and you get to decide. And if you have a policy you think is a great idea, put it in there. One of them is great, like 1 bill per vote. It's a clean bill, nothing crazy. No crazy omnibus bills. So perhaps, maybe the Trump administration is going to be a lot better than many of you leftists think. Maybe this is a better idea than going onto TikTok and recording yourself crying or screaming or, I don't know, cutting your hair off or something stupid like that. Give it a shot.
I mean, I want you to just think, okay, What I have actually been seeing in my head, I've never really said this out loud. I have talked to my wife about the same thing. This guy's showing some of these potential sites that are coming. And don't worry about who's on there right now, okay? What if? Okay, well, let me step back for half a second. Trump spends 390 something million on his campaign in 2024. He spends 10 million on salaries. They come in under budget, right? Kamala in 90 days spends 1.3 billion dollars. Doesn't want to go to a podcaster's studio, including doesn't want to go to Joe Rogan that they got 43 million views when they dropped it on a Friday night. Like, this is a nutty number. Trump went on with Sean Ryan and several other people that I've loved, these guys, okay? Valuetainment. Sat with them. Let them kind of say whatever they wanted to say for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hour interviews. She wouldn't even go on with Rogan unless he came to her and did all this other stuff and only asked certain questions, right? And then Kamala spends, $150,000 to build a set. How much set do you need? We're talking about a basic set with some maybe books in the background and some other stuff. $150,000. That's like government spending silliness, right? They spent $582 million on salaries of that 1.3 billion dollars. They're $20 million in debt. I'm telling you that both sides of that are ridiculous. What if we had a website? Get this one. Ready? A website that, make up a name. Tina Forte, we'll just use Tina as an example. In her district, wants to be the senator, or excuse me, the congresswoman. Great. She puts her curriculum vitae, which is her resume. She puts a website, and she puts a policy statement. And they probably would kind of feed her, okay, listen, what is your idea on economy? What is your idea on health? What is your idea with your city area? What are some of the things that, just kind of ask her to fill out those kinds of points so that you would have these preloaded things. Do you have some videos about yourself that you did? What kinds of things have you done in the community? So she spends a little time really working out her policy points, right? They might even have a website for her to be able to kind of enter in. She can just build her own website and kind of upload that. It's very simple to do, by the way. You could do this tomorrow, and or she could actually have it help her build that site and have a pretty basic site, so you at least knew who she was. We could load in 3 or 4 different people. Forget about the Democrat, Republican, stupid. How about 3 or 4 different people, 5 or 6 different people for every single position in America? By the way, when this thing flips, all of them going. And what if we could have a choice with Kristi Noem as a president down the road or senator? What if Tina Forte or Kim Klacik or you are a state senator? What if you didn't have to spend tens of thousands of dollars? In the Tulsa district here, the state Senate, guys were coming to my house. I was asking them some questions. And I won't get into the questions, but one of the things that I looked at is they were dropping these mailers. And I'm talking about a mailer. Normally a mailer, is a, there's different mailers you could do. A 3x5, which is basically, 2/3 of this size, right? Or you could do these big old nasty mailers like this kind of size, right? And bigger. A 3x5 mailer, if you're going to mail out to 5,000 residents, could cost you in the range of 50 to 70 cents. Depends on, if you got a discount on that kind of thing. So you're talking about $2,500 for the bigger, nasty mailers. Just basically make it $1. So it's on average $5,000. And if you've looked at your mailings that you got, that junk mail stuff that you got for months and months and months, how many mailers do you get from the same kind of people? 3 or 4 per? How much other kind of numbers? And we're talking about in Oklahoma, the job is a part-time job, $45,000 a year that they're spending tens of thousands, $20,000, $30,000 to do all this campaigning for that kind of job? What? Do you see cabal influence anywhere here? You see, you got to have a ton of money just to run for Senate or run for Congress. I mean, they say that you have to have at least $70,000 to $100,000 to run for Congress. Bogus. How about we have a simple way of being able to do this? How about you guys dream? I had a guy that said, I don't know what I want to do. And I said, and he was talking about the mayor of his small town in Texas. I don't remember the town. I'm like, dude, what about being the mayor? I hadn't thought about that. I'm retired. I was like, so what? Can't you do it? Yeah. How about a city council? How about a school board? Do you know that in 2020 there was a Colorado school board that just walked out en masse? There is a really weird conglomerated video, guys showing the video, right? And all these women and men are sitting there going, well, you could be the board member. Yeah, you could be a board member. And they're picking it out as they went of these awakened, straightforward people of the community instead of these cabal idiots who want to tell you all their silliness. What a concept. Couldn't we have that kind of capability of grassroots kinds of things? How about we're not going to have the idiot media. Do you know that CNN is dropping off by 30% after post-election? MSNBC is 55% off. Oh yeah, Fox is up by 61%. But if you calculate what they were from 2019, they're down by 40%. All of them are down to not anything left. And when this flip goes, they're going to look stupid. The thought leaders, the media people, how about any of those areas, the talk shows, the new talk shows, I mean, how about these kinds of things? What can you be? I'm calling it out of you. I'm calling it out in the Lord. What are you going to be? What could you do? Cool stuff, huh? Could you turn around and be an, Department of Homeland Security, HSA, from humble beginnings? I think you can. Dream big. Dream cool things, because we need you. And there's going to have a 2-term limit on each one of these things. We're going to need new people that will come in and do new cool ideas. One person wins that race. Let's say Tina Forte's race, and let's just say her whole thing is about fixing the roads. Great, go for it. The next person comes in and wants to fix some of the school systems. Great, go for it. This is what we need. Think about who you can be. Thanks so much.